Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Big Talk with Bruce Dickey here on Wabash Cats TV. How y'all doing? I'm finishing up the coaches this week. I've got, the football coaches anyway. We've got Kevin Greene here from Salem. We're going to have a good time talking about Salem Wildcats football, what they did last year, their upcoming season, and all kinds of fun stuff here on Big Talk with Bruce Dickey today. How you doing, Kevin?
Doing okay. Doing okay. Thanks for having me again. Yeah, appreciate it.
Great to see you. We're going to do that. We're going to talk about all kinds of other things because Kevin's the AD and he'll be able to tell us about all the changes. You've made a gigantic number of changes at Salem Community High School.
We're trying not to, actually.
Well, I can understand. I had Townsend on yesterday, Friday or Thursday, and I had Tackett on before that, and half of the show with Townsend, they basically rebuilt the gymnasium.
Oh, okay. Yeah, good for them.
Good for them. So, and I think, but you wanted a couple of minutes off this summer.
Right.
Townsend had a thing.
Yeah, we look for it. Yeah.
I'll bet. So Big Talk with Bruce Dickey. Let's talk a little bit about some things going on in and around the area today to make you aware of a few things. I could find a few things going on here on this Monday, July 29th. A lot of fairs still going on, or just getting underway, as a matter of fact. You may not have been to the Marion County Fair yet over there in Salem, south side of Salem. This is a fun day, and you want to go today if you have kids, because this is Kids Day at the fair from 9 o'clock until 2 o'clock today. They have all kinds of different activities for the kids. They're having a good time out there. I think they have some blow-up machines and stuff that kids jump in and play, and the inflatables and that kind of thing, and all kinds of different stuff. And then tonight, I guess there's two different tours because both the Effingham County Fair and the Marion County Fair are putting on the same thing, the ITPA Truck, Tractor, and Garden Tractor Pull, taking place tonight at Salem. That's at 6:30 in the grandstand. And, of course, you can go online at marioncountyfair.org and find tickets for that, or just walk up and buy tickets too. I would think that would be fine. Like I say, at the Effingham County Fair, also having a truck, tractor, and garden tractor pull, also at 6:30 tonight, and must have two different sets of apparatus. What's the plural of apparatus? Apparati?
That sounds good to me. Let's go.
Does that work for you?
Let's go. Yeah, let's go with it.
That'll work for me. We'll go with apparati. Must have two different sets of sleds. Let's call it that. As that'll be tonight. Also today at the Effingham County Fair up in Altamont, 1 o'clock. It's one of their big races of the year. It's the Big Ten harness racing. I think they call it the Big Ten race, and that starts again at 1 o'clock today up in Altamont at the Effingham County Fair. Also going on today down in Albion, it is the Edwards County Fair. I think they get into the swing of it later on this week, but tonight they are having their baked goods auction. It's at 5 p.m. The proceeds go to the Edwards County Council on Aging. Come bid on some great pies, cakes, cookies, the whole bit, and help the centers continue to serve the seniors of Edwards County. Last year, the Edwards County Council on Aging served over 52,000 meals. Boy, that's a bunch. Let's see, do the math on that. It was about 150 a day, every day. That's a pretty nice project that they put on over there in Edwards County. What else going on today, ladies and gentlemen, here on this Monday, July 29th? This is a good one. National Chicken Wing Day encourages a frenzy of dipping and sauce tasting with all kinds of chicken wings. With so many choices of dipping sauces, be sure to pace yourself because there are a lot of wings to go around. This day celebrates the little appetizer that could, also known as buffalo wings, hot wings, or just wings. Each of us. How many do you think in the United States? All right, a per capita. Wings per person, man, woman, child, dog, cat. take out dogs and cats. Man, woman, and child, how many wings do you think get eaten per year per person?
Oh my gosh!
That's a good one. That's a good question.
I love chicken wings, and I probably eat in a given year
10, 15, 20 a week, maybe, or something.
No, maybe not that many, but I bet I'm over 100 in a year.
On average,
I would think.
On average, there must be some people really bringing up the average because each one of us eats 290.
Okay.
Per year.
I mean, I was on the low end, but I bet I'm probably closer to that, to be honest with you. I mean, I eat wings a lot.
I'm on the low end too. I don't eat chicken wings much because I don't like the hot sauce. I'm a big.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm a big wimp when it comes to the franks.
Okay.
And what's your favorite hot sauce? Do you like?
I just like a mild buffalo sauce. Just something that's going to get me a little bit, but not make me completely start sweating. Yeah, try to stay away from that.
There are people I've seen people sit down. I mean, this is the people who are bringing up the average. I've seen people sit down at a Buffalo Wild Wings, and they've got like 16 different, 20 different sauces, and they'll line them up, and go 6 at a time, boom, 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 and eat like 100 wings in a sitting.
In one sitting, yeah.
I've seen people do 100 wings in a sitting, and I'm thinking, good thing it's Buffalo Wild Wings because they're small.
Exactly. Yeah, that's for sure.
But yeah, they are small at Buffalo Wild. But National Chicken Wings Day. What's your favorite part, the drumming or the wing?
Yes. I like them both. I don't discriminate.
Well, that's good. That's a good. Of course, there are a number of different places in Buffalo say they were the starter of the Buffalo Wings, but in 1977, they proclaimed July 29th as National Chicken Wing Day. Establishments like the Anchor Bar, Wings and Things, and Duff all became famous for their chicken wings. Not only is this a good day for the chicken wing snacks, there's another big meal that celebrates on July 29th, National Lasagna Day. July 29th, this encourages everyone to enjoy at least one version of a delicious layers of noodles, sauces, cheese, and whatever your heart desires in your idea of lasagna. Lasagna requires layering using cheeses, meats, vegetables, and sauce to create a delicious blend of savory baked layers. Since lasagna is one of the oldest kinds of pasta, cooks have developed quite a selection of recipes from vegan to seafood to dessert. Lasagna fills recipe books around the world, and even the sauces come in a wide variety. Here are some lasagna facts for you. Lasagna was first made in what century? I'm asking you to guess. First made in what century? Now this is a tough one. This is
a really tough one. I would say
this is mean. I'm such a jerk. Think Marco Polo a little bit later.
Oh, okay, like 1200s, the 1300s.
1300s, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, yeah. Not just a football coach.
Marco Polo.
Not just a football coach. Actually, lasagna was first made back in the 1300s during the height of the Black Plague in Greece. And interestingly, the pasta dish was made specifically for special events and holidays, despite the bleak time that in which it was created. The original recipe of lasagna didn't contain meat. In fact, the first recipe contained ingredients such as artichoke, eggplant, spinach, ricotta, and grated cheese. The first printed recipe of lasagna dates back to 1634. It's also known as lasagna di menache stufate, mozzarella e cacio. King Ferdinand II enjoyed lasagna de carnaval, the Neapolitan lasagna. This type of lasagna made with meat ragu, small fried meatballs, hard-boiled eggs, and mozzarella cheese. I got to tell you, that sounds pretty good.
Anything with cheese and sauce, pasta.
Then they're throwing hard-boiled eggs on it.
I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah,
it's unusual,
sure.
but
it is.
Boy, the hard boiled, you're going to get a pretty good little texture.
Yeah, I would think so.
Yeah, I'm
never heard of that.
I am okay with that.
Yep.
The most expensive lasagna in the world is found at the Portofino Mirage Hotel in Las Vegas, of course, known as the Diamond and Gold lasagna. Sells for $100 a slice.
It better be good.
Consists of Kobe beef, Iberico ham, which I think is a type of prosciutto.
Okay.
Prosciutto de Parma, porcini mushrooms, and foie gras Alfredo sauce.
Okay.
Not bad.
That sounds all right.
I got to tell you, I'm with you. I could probably eat a little bit of that too. What else is going on, ladies and gentlemen, today? Actually, this week, National Moth Week, the final week in July is when folks celebrate National Moth Week. You'll see, this is kind of the time of year when you'll see all kinds of moths out flying around. Hopefully you don't hit too many with your car, because moths are, there are fewer moths now than there were when I was a kid. One of the world's largest moth is the Hercules moth, with a wingspan of 10.5 inches. The Hercules moth can cover the length of an official NFL football. The average lifespan of a moth depends on the species. The Hercules moth has between 2 to 8 days, because they are unable to eat due to not having a proboscis, the nose thing. Why would you make an how would it evolve an 8-inch moth, a 10-inch moth that can't eat?
I can't imagine.
That makes no sense.
Yeah, that's out of my depth of education.
It's called Darwin. That makes no sense at all.
Yeah.
The world's smallest moths have wingspans of 3 millimeters, and come from Britain. So there you go, folks. Your facts for a National Moth Week. What do you want to see on television, ladies and gentlemen? Major League Baseball tonight. The Cubs start a series in Cincinnati, playing the Reds. It's Jameson Taillon versus, the Reds haven't figured out who they're pitching yet. It's on Marquee, Channel 597. The Rangers will be at the Cardinals at 6:45 tonight. Nathan Eovaldi versus Andre Palante. That's on Bally, Channel 630. The Kansas City Royals will be at the White Sox tonight. That's at 7:10. Alec Marsh versus Chris Flexen. And at 5:40 on Major League Baseball Network, the Yankees. They're always on the TV, but they're losing right now, so it's fun to watch. The Yankees at the Phillies. Luis Gil versus Zach Wheeler. That's on MLB Network, Channel 599. The Olympics are on. They're going right now. It's the USA Network all day long. They will be giving away medals today in swimming, shooting, judo, gymnastics, fencing, equestrian, diving, cycling, canoeing, and archery. You big Olympics guy? Do you watch the Olympics?
We do in our house. Yeah, we like the Olympics, especially the track and field and the swimming stuff. We're really into the swimming stuff. We really enjoy that part.
I watch the track and field, and I watch the. I pretty much TiVo'd the whole the qualifying.
Yeah, and I mean we really focus on those, but we'll watch if it's on and we're in the living room eating or whatever. We'll watch just about anything.
It's better than
definitely more summer than winter, but
better than watching Family Feud or something
no doubt about it.
You're watching Big Talk with Bruce Dickey. We'll be back right after these, talking with Kevin Greene about Salem football. Back after this. Stick around.
When you want an honest deal and hometown service without the runaround, go to Lamont Chevrolet Chrysler in Fairfield. Let Gabe McGahey, Sheldon Bunning, Jeff Black, Dennis Downs, Matthew Rogers, or Caleb Dunn score the best deal for you on your next new or pre-owned vehicle. Parts and service departments with factory-trained technicians and express lane and state-of-the-art tire and alignment technology. Lamont always inspects your battery, antifreeze, wipers, and tires for free. We want you prepared for the open road ahead. Open 24/7 at LeMansOnline.com. You'll like the way we do business.
At Clay City Banking Company, we're all on the same team, regardless of zip code. At home, work, school, or across the country, you can be part of our team with our cutting-edge mobile banking products. From your hand, you can check balances, transfer money, make deposits, and pay bills. Looking for a loan? We've got you covered with our mortgage, agriculture, commercial, and consumer loans. Join our team today. Clay City, Flora, Louisville, and Fairfield banking companies. We're the hometown banks, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
Briscoe Surplus Sales on the northeast edge of Flora is your one-stop do-it-all shop. Looking for rugged boots and footwear from great brands like Lacrosse, Rocky, and Carolina? They're there. How about top-notch small engine parts and service? Briscoe Surplus Sales has it. Whether you're wiring your switches or switching your wiring, Briscoe Surplus Sales has the solution and the know-how to help you get the job done right the first time. Briscoe Surplus Sales, your one-stop do-it-all shop.
It is all things new at Zimdar's Heating, Air Conditioning, and Appliance Repair. We have a new line of heating and cooling equipment and new technicians. Our new equipment line offers 24 months free financing and excellent warranty coverage. Our experienced service technicians can provide you with quality service and repairs on all brands of HVAC equipment. Zimdar's has been serving Clay County and the surrounding areas for over 23 years. The employees of Zimdar's are here to help, so call local and call Zimdar's.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Big Talk with Bruce Dickey here on Wabash Catch TV. Talking with Kevin Greene, Salem High School football coach, and Kevin is always a lot of fun on this show because Kevin. The Salem football program does things a little bit differently from everybody else, don't they?
Well, I think when we started doing it that way, it was different. I'm not sure how much different it is anymore. I think there's a lot. Yeah, I think there's a lot, and I think that's great.
I'm talking about how they conditioning it.
Yeah, we just several years ago we picked up the idea of kind of moving away from the traditional conditioning and that kind of thing, and I think our kids are a lot healthier the way we do it, and I know a lot of programs in the area. I know
what kind of reception from other programs do you get now that you've been doing it for 5 or 6 years?
Yeah, we started in 18. Actually, we started in 17. I don't know that there's been a reception to it necessarily from other programs, but I think just the movement of it has kind of caught on from other programs, and they're kind of doing things similar. Shortening up practices, cutting out some of the things that you really don't need to do, the things that you do to just wear kids out. Kind of our saying is coaches when we plan practices or workouts is, tired is the enemy.
Yeah.
We don't want kids tired. And
right.
We have so many kids that play multiple sports, and we have so many kids that are doing other things. We want to bring them in. We want to get our things done that we need to get done, and then get them out the door.
This isn't like it was back in the 90s.
No, it's not.
80s and 90s.
Not when we played. No, it was much different.
Yeah, you had 3-hour practice.
Exactly.
With a water break or two.
Running 50 wind sprints after practices were over.
The last thing in practice was you get on the line. Mm-hmm. On the line.
Yep.
And you're running 40s, you're running 50 yards, and running 20s.
It was miserable.
It was miserable.
And we did that when I started coaching, and it was miserable as a coach, too. It was miserable.
That's what why in the world would coaches even do that?
Well, you wonder right now. I mean, I don't know. I don't know why I did it, but there's hundreds of my former players that are out there, and I feel like I owe all of them an apology because I was not a very good coach to them at that time.
No. You see, you've been coaching now for, including your term up north. That was 8 years up there, right?
12.
12 years.
Yeah, so this will be 26.
Okay, so
coming up this
12
year.
up there and 14 down here at Salem.
Yeah.
It's really cool. I don't know if you see it from being so close to it. It's really cool watching somebody change their ways as new ideas come along. Yeah. Being open to new ideas, isn't it?
And it's hard. It's hard to do that. It is. It's hard to do that. I think we're all subject to being locked in and doing things that we're comfortable.
Right.
Comfort can be an enemy too. And I think when you're a teacher or a coach or in so many areas of professions, being comfortable can lead you to never really improving. And, I think that was something that I struggled to adapt myself to a long time ago, several years ago. And I'm really glad that I did. I think it's helped our numbers. It's helped our coaches.
Let's just real quickly, let's talk a little bit about the difference. I mean, because it's instead of long breaks, kids are active the whole time for a shorter period, right?
Exactly. We try to simulate our practices more like games. So anytime we're doing practice reps or team reps of any kind, we time the different, the time in between plays. So that way, the average play, there's 25 to 30 seconds between plays. So we try to make sure that our team reps, all of the reps that our kids are doing, have that type of a break between them. And we do basically, we challenge our kids to condition themselves during practice time.
Oh, really?
And I think.
How do you do that? I mean,
we don't run sprints at the end. I think that's a big motivator. I mean, the funnest thing about football or any sport is playing the sport. And I think our kids know they don't have to pace themselves during practice for 90 minutes or the longest time we'll practice is 2 hours, but that will not be a complete, they're not practicing that entire time. It takes warm up and water breaks and that kind of thing.
Warm up and scheme look.
Exactly. So, I mean, our kids know that when they're doing things in our time frame of practice, whether it's 6 to 7:30 or 6 to 8, whatever the case might be, they don't have to worry about being conditioned at the end of practice. And I think that in and of itself has been the biggest thing for us.
Isn't it, or have you noticed, and I'm certain you have because you probably are more attuned to it, the regulations and practice regs put down by the NFHS and the IHSA have basically kind of gone in this direction, haven't they? Because it's healthier for the student athlete.
I think it's healthier. I think it encourages more kids to play. I think that's helped. But anything that's going to help the game be safer is always going to be better. But I think what you saw, there was a decent number of programs that were kind of doing this already. So when the IHSA put their things out, it really doesn't affect us as much because we were already doing 99% of it anyway.
Well, I know what I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen. The IHSA changes the limits on number of hours and times of practice.
Correct.
Number of practices per day. Because I did come from a time where we had 3-a-days. I mean,
absolutely. There was no hour limits when we played.
Yeah, there were no hour limits.
You could go from 8 in the morning till 2 in the afternoon.
We would practice from 8 to 10. We would have weightlifting from like 2 to 4, and we would practice from 6 to 8. And I mean, it was 6 hours.
A grind.
That was a grind.
It was a grind.
We did that for a month,
right?
And you just couldn't wait for the season to start.
Exactly.
And it's just not. And you're probably right, Coach, in that doing it a choppier, smaller way like you're doing it, or chopping it up and making it incumbent on the kid too,
right?
To put what they can get out of it. It makes it a lot more fun.
I think it does, and I think we just really everything that we do focuses on game day, and we want the kids to be as fresh, as fast, and as healthy as we can possibly get them on game day.
Yeah.
And when we played, I don't know that was the focus. The focus was preparing for game day.
Right.
And the focus was how much can we make practice harder than a game when really in essence you want the game to be the hardest thing they do all week.
Right.
That's how they improve. That's how they get better. And if I've got a kid who's running 21 miles an hour in the first quarter, he's going to be running 20 or 19 in the fourth quarter because he's fresh and he's fast. I don't want a kid who's running 21 miles an hour during the week running 19 at the beginning of the game. That doesn't make any sense.
Over the years, and I think I ask you this every year, and I think you give me the similar answer. Over the years, you've noticed, at least I've noticed, and tell me if you've seen the same thing, a freshness in your team that you occasionally don't see on other teams.
I think so, and I do. Again, I think there's a lot of teams that are starting to adapt this, this philosophy. But yeah, I mean, I think, when you get into the second half, the fourth quarter of games, people used to think that you would need to condition to prepare for those moments.
Right.
When really all you're doing is conditioning your kids to run slow in those moments.
Yeah.
Because I can't speak for you, but I don't know too many kids that were preparing for 15 or 20 gasser sprints at the end of practice that are going to be running those at max velocity.
No.
Nobody was. Nobody was.
Nobody else.
So all you're doing is teaching your kids to run slow when they're tired.
If you're the faster kids
Exactly.
in the gassers at the end, you're slowing down
Right.
because you can.
Exactly.
Because us tubby linemen aren't catching you anyway.
Right. We want our fast kids to be as fast as they can be in the fourth quarter, and I think the way that we've done things has helped cater to that a little bit. And like I said, our injuries have gone down massively since we've started doing this.
That's what it's all about.
Exactly.
I tell you what, let's do. We're going to take a quick break, come back, talk with Coach Greene. We're going to get a little bit more specific about the Wildcats and what's going on this year and what went on last year, and we'll do that here in just a second. You're watching Big Talk with Bruce Dickey. I've got Kevin Greene from Salem High School Football back right after this.
Hi, my name is Landon Carter, and I'm a financial consultant at Benjamin F. Edwards in Florida. Whether you're planning to send a loved one to school, preparing for retirement, or passing your wealth to the next generation, we have the knowledge and perspective to implement financial strategies that will help you move smoothly through life's transitions. Here at Edwards, our clients know that we are fully invested in their financial future. To find out more, call Duke and I invite you to give us a call at 618-508-8050. Benjamin F. Edwards, member SIPC.
When you want an honest deal and hometown service without the runaround, go to Le Mans Chevrolet Chrysler in Fairfield. Let Gabe McGahey, Sheldon Bunning, Jeff Black, Dennis Downs, Matthew Rogers, or Caleb Dunn score the best deal for you on your next new or pre-owned vehicle. Parts and service departments with factory-trained technicians and express lane and state-of-the-art tire and alignment technology. Le Mans always inspects your battery, antifreeze, wipers, and tires for free. We want you prepared for the open road ahead. Open 24/7 at lemansonline.com. You'll like the way we do business.
For service beyond the surface, call Carter Trucking in Fairfield. Carter's trucks are ready to haul your big freight and grain. So whatever you call Jeremy Carter, the Mucho Mulcho Man, the driveway doctor, the gravel guru, the pothole pirate, the rockin' redneck, the smooth operator, the mudhole master, or the happy hauler, just call him. 842-2022 to haul your big freight, grain, and more with trucks from Carter Trucking, Williamson Drive in Fairfield.
Hello, folks. Welcome back. Big Talk with Bruce Dickey. Kevin Greene is here. He is the Salem High School football coach. Salem last year had a solid year. Here's what the Cahokia Conference looked like last year. The Wildcats just under mid-level there in the conference. Roxana was a beast last year, weren't they? Look at that, 618 points in 13 games. Any chance that they come back to the pack?
I think they will a little bit. They had a pretty good senior class last year, and Coach DeVries, he does a similar conditioning situation to what we do.
Yeah.
And he just does a great job. He's a really good guy, and they got every bit of success that they deserved last year.
Taking a look at your last year's season, that Roxana game there in Game 5, that was a tight one. That was a close game for a long time. But then Roxana just kind of kicked it into gear, didn't they?
So Roxana, they're a double wing team, but they run really fast-paced offense. They're tempo all the time, and they had some great athletes last year. They had some really good linemen up front. Defensively, they were very stout, and they could roll up some points pretty quickly on you.
Yeah.
When you run that kind of style of offense, because it's not one you see very often. And then when they go fast, it makes it even more difficult.
That's the thing. It is tremendously difficult to get a defense prepared
Correct.
to see a double wing team.
It is.
It's a team that they
you
don't
see very few teams that have a tight end at all anymore,
Yeah.
and they'll run two at a time sometimes, and that makes it very challenging. And so, I look back at that game, we lost by 30 points, but that was probably the best half of football we played all year. Was in the first half. We were up 20-16 at halftime, and just had a couple mistakes in the second half, and
I
all
think
of a
we
sudden
did.
they ran away from us.
I think we had that game on.
I think you might have.
I think we had that game on. There were a couple of turnovers.
There was.
To start
Yep.
the third quarter.
And against a good football team, you can't do that.
Yeah, that's right. And it kind of started to snowball.
It did.
And like you said, I mean, this is a team that went to the state quarterfinal, for crying out loud.
And
State
deservedly so.
semifinal.
Yeah, deservedly so.
They were an outstanding team. We got Breeze Central 9-3 last year as well. Freeburg at 6-4. That was one I think you'd probably like to have back, wouldn't you?
It was, I look at that game though. I mean, they were, the score, it was not as close as the score indicates. They were better than us last year, and
especially at the time of the year
point of the
that you
season. At that point of the season, they were playing really good football,
Right.
And we were struggling, and they ran us over. I mean, there's no other way to say it. It wasn't a 50-point game, but it sure seemed like it.
Well, the interesting thing that I got when I was looking at this was it wasn't like Salem had any close losses. They had the wins. You played really well in the wins, but the losses, those were just really good teams. Mount Zion's an outstanding. You look, they're 8-3.
Right.
You got Roxana 12-1, Breeze Central 9-3, Freeburg at 6-4, but caught them at the wrong time.
Right.
And nobody kind of in the middle. Is that kind of indicative of what the schedule you think will be this year too? Or
yeah, it's hard to say. It's hard to say. I mean, I think when you look at our losses last year, I mean, obviously we went to Charleston week 9, 4-4, playing to get into the playoffs. Would have gotten in had we won. Had them, we were down I think 21-13 with about 6 minutes left, and they got us late with a touchdown. That was a pretty competitive game.
That's the thing about Charleston. Last year was like the second year they were very good in the last 10, and they've turned it around a little bit.
Yeah, they had a little bit of a down streak there, and last year was the first year they'd made the playoffs, I think, in quite a while.
Yeah.
But their coaches do a good job, and they had a really good group, and they're going to be solid again this year. I don't know that they'll be quite as good, but they're going to be good.
They won a game in the playoffs.
They did. Yeah, beat Freeburg. Yeah,
oh,
right at the end. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, it was them and Freeburg right down to the wire in a very close game. But I think when you look at that schedule, obviously the two teams that pop out at you are Mount Zion and Breeze Central as far as the number of kids that each team has coming back.
Yeah.
Mount Zion is going to be very, very good, and Breeze Central returns almost everybody. And
well, I may as well bring up this.
Yeah, that's Breeze Central's got a coaching staff, and Coach Short, they just do an unbelievable job there, and they're going to be a really tough out in our league for everybody, not just us.
The tough part, one of the tough parts to me, just glancing at this schedule, it is pretty top loaded there with 4 road games in the first 5 weeks, and you're gonna what Benton do? How'd you get Benton onto the schedule this year?
So Alton Marquette had been in that number 2 spot for us for several years, and they were
probably 10 years, hadn't they? Because
no, it wasn't quite that long. I think 20 actually was the first year we played.
Okay.
In this
I thought they tried
the COVID season.
Okay, that's right.
So anyway, their program was kind of heading in a different direction, and I think they were looking to move on. And so we needed a 1-year gap between Alton Marquette last year and Olney in 25. So we pick up Richland County in 25. We're really excited about that. But yeah, so Ben just happened to have a 1-year deal open week 2 as well, and it works out because it's a short trip, good local game for both of us, and but Coach down there does a great job. They took Mount Carmel right to the wire last year in the playoffs, and they've got a lot of returning kids. So that's not going to be an easy out for us by any means.
So you've added Benton, you dropped Alton Marquette, but the cool part I think for this year is you're getting Freeburg and Charleston at home, and I think that's going to say a lot.
It does, and it's never a bad way to end the season. You can end the year with 2 home games in a row, and,
right?
But like you said, that gauntlet at the beginning, those first, really 4 of our first 5 are on the road. We've got 2 trips to the Metro East in a row in Wood River and Roxana. We come home for 1 game, and then we got to go back to the Metro with Columbia. So, nothing's easy there. But
what do we know about Centralia this year?
I think they're going to be typical Centralia. I mean, they're going to have great athletes. They've got some kids coming back up front that were very good. They're going to have to replace the quarterback. And I know that they've got a young man who I believe is Coach Guai's son who's going to take over. And, anytime you put a coach's son into that position, they're going to know what they're doing and know what their job is. Right.
And speaking
so
of
that's going to be enough in and of itself right there.
Speaking of having to replace a quarterback, we're going to come back. We're going to talk a little bit more about the Salem squad, what they've got, what they've lost last year, what they have coming back. We'll be back right after this on Big Talk. Back in a sec. Having car trouble, need a tow, or just some routine maintenance? Butcher Automotive in Louisville has you covered. Locally owned and operated, Butcher Automotive offers complete vehicle repair services along with tire sales and wheel alignment. They're your local Hankook tire and interstate battery dealer. Butcher Automotive offers free local pickup and delivery so your car can be repaired while you're at work or at home. Butcher strives to treat everyone's vehicle as their own. At Butcher Automotive, they don't want you to give them your business, they want to earn it.
Residents of the Clay County and surrounding area have relied on Clay County State Bank for sound professional service for over 100 years. With convenient lobby and drive-up hours, we are ready to serve you Monday through Saturday. We appreciate all who bank with us, and we look forward to the opportunity of working with anyone who is looking for a community bank to help with their financial needs. Give us a call at 665-3314, visit us online, or stop by and see us on the square in Louisville to experience our friendly personal service.
When you want an honest deal and hometown service without the runaround, go to Lamont Chevrolet Chrysler in Fairfield. Let Gabe McGahey, Sheldon Bunning, Jeff Black, Dennis Downs, Matthew Rogers, or Caleb Dunn score the best deal for you on your next new or pre-owned vehicle. Parts and service departments with factory-trained technicians and express lane and state-of-the-art tire and alignment technology. Lamont's always inspects your battery, antifreeze, wipers, and tires for free. We want you prepared for the open road ahead. Open 24/7 at LaMonsOnline.com. You'll like the way we do business.
I thought I'd lost my business in that fire, but my agent was there before the flames were out. He said, together, we're going to rebuild. Our employees depended on it. My independent agent and auto owners made sure we didn't skip a beat. I mean, we didn't miss a single payroll.
For whatever lies ahead, we're always there. Auto Owners Insurance. North Wayne Insurance Agency in Flora is your local independent auto owners insurance agency.
Hey folks, welcome back. Big Talk with Bruce Dickey here on Wabash Catch TV, joined by Kevin Greene, head coach of the Salem High School football squad. You have a young squad coming back, don't you? Tell me a little bit about the squad. You lost a pretty big group of seniors.
Yeah, we had several seniors that started as freshmen for us back in, or not freshmen rather, but sophomores back in 21 when we made the playoffs. So they were a pretty invested group, and obviously, as we mentioned earlier, off camera, when your son's involved with that group, and there's so many of his good buddies there, and they were, again, I think the best word to put it is invested. They were very invested in our program, invested in our school.
Yeah.
And when you have that, and they work so hard for success and aren't able to achieve success at the level they would want to.
They didn't get the level they wanted.
Right. I mean, I think we had some really great moments last year that they will look back on in time and appreciate. But right now, in the immediate aftermath of it, it was a hard year. It really was. And I think, that's something that a lot of people from the outside looking in probably don't recognize the amount of time that you spend with these kids and the amount of time that they spend working to have success.
Yeah.
And when it doesn't happen, that creates a whole nother dynamic of student athlete to coach to parent relationship. It's easy when things are going well, and it's easy to get kids through seasons when you're having success. Right. But when things are not as successful as what you want, that can create can create a lot of challenges and be very difficult.
You got to replace your quarterback.
Yeah, 3-year starter.
3-year starter. That's always tough to replace.
It is, and he
Quarterback's his kid.
Yeah. Sam was an unbelievably hard worker. Just a very invested kid in his teammates and the team itself.
See, that's the thing, and I don't know if the other kids that you have trying out for quarterback this year were able to see that. I was able to see. I mean, I came out I get to the games really early.
Sure.
And I got to see Sam going out on the field working with his receivers.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, well before the rest of the team showed up.
Yeah.
And I don't think he was required to. I don't think.
Oh, no.
I mean, you could just tell it was loose, but I mean, he was making sure that everybody knew what was going on.
Well, and I think that stuff was, that was evident there in those moments. Also, just in the random Sunday afternoons where guys would get together and he would, they would organize that. And, it wasn't just Sam that would do that. There were a lot of guys that were very invested, but we're fortunate to have a couple of those guys, some of those guys back this year. And, but no, I think that'll be the focus for us offensively is replacing him.
Are there any spots that we can call in the offense locked already?
Oh yeah, for sure. I think we've got two pretty talented wideouts coming back, and Mike Etris and Lyric Black. I would say both of those guys are two of the better athletes that I've coached in 26 years. I mean, they can do things with the ball. They can make people miss. They can run away from people. So we're excited.
They both. I got to tell. Sometimes you'll see wideouts over the years get angry if the pass isn't thrown at them, but those kids both seem to have pretty good attitudes.
Yeah, I think they do. I mean, I don't think there's frustration in not being able to make a play anytime you have an opportunity to do so. But no, we're excited to have those guys back. They're going to be a big focal point of our offense. And right tackle Briar Hills is back. He's 6'3", 290 probably. Started all year for us last year. We'll have Frank Pottergoy starting at left tackle for us, also 6'1", 290. We'll have
Frank's
some pretty
290 now?
Yeah, we'll have some pretty good size up front and be able to do some things there. And so we've got several kids that we're gonna run at running back that we're pretty excited about. They're pretty athletic kids, and so yeah, I mean, I think replacing a quarterback is going to be important, but we've got a couple kids in Zane Bartholomew and Caden Bevelow who are competing for the job, and to be truthful, either one of them who emerges, our offense is going to be in good hands.
What grades?
So Zane's going to be a junior, and Caden will be a sophomore.
Okay. Yeah. So, well, you see, now that's the thing. They've had some time to watch Sam Greene work.
Right.
And they've had and they've had the opportunity to see him, and then they've also played at the lower level.
Sure. They both got some experience and have worked really hard this last 6 to 9 months to win the job. And like I said, either one who takes it, we should be in pretty capable hands.
Speaking of that, tell me a little bit about the summer work, because you go to tournaments and the 7-on-7s and that kind of thing. You get that's the cool thing about those 7-on-7 things. You get the opportunity to get both kids in there and get kind of a look at what they can do.
For sure. And I think you get those opportunities during the summertime, but it also helps when you have a couple pretty experienced guys on the outside in Lyric and Miking to help those young guys along. The first thing that we told our quarterbacks at the beginning of the summer was trust those guys. Trust them, even if they may not be completely wide open. Give them a chance. Because they're so athletic.
Go get it.
Exactly, they're so athletic, and trust is just something that we've really tried to impart in both of our quarterbacks, to trust those veteran guys, to let them make you look good. That's their job, and that's what they want. They want those opportunities.
Let's talk a little bit about the defensive side of the ball. You're losing a bit over there too. You had some good players.
I think, though, when you look at it last year especially, and really the last 2 years, we've given up over 270 points each season respectively. If there's a focus right now for us this offseason, it's been defensively.
Has it really?
Oh yeah, we've got to do a better job of stopping people, and we just struggled last year so often to get stops and to consistently get stops. And
you're looking at the trying to stop, since you had the 7-on-7s this summer, were you looking at your defensive backfield to try to make better to improve, or the defensive front?
I think it's all of it. We just weren't very good defensively last year, and I think that it starts with me as the coach and our coaches, and we've kind of tweaked our scheme just a little bit here and there, and we've put a few different guys in some different spots to try and put some more athletic guys on the field, some guys with a little different attitude, maybe.
Yeah.
Defensive football is a little different animal than offensive football, and I think we've tried to put some different guys in some different spots. And we've had a pretty good summer so far. So
who do you
we'll
have
see.
on the ends?
It's going to be a little bit
Rotation?
of a rotation type situation there. Frank will get some work it in. Daryl Kaufman. We've got Owen Becker. We've got some names there, but really it's going to be more about our back end coming up and tackling people.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, I think that's where we're at.
The reason I ask is I've always kind of been of the mind you got to get you got to have a defensive end bring in the pressure to help start the chaos.
Yeah.
And now, granted, that's not too good if somebody's going to be running the double wing straight up the gut.
Right. I think that's been our focus, is just trying to develop a scheme and develop our kids to stop the run first. We gave up way too many yards on the ground last year. We allowed teams like Wood River and Marquette to stay in the game with us for way longer than they should have, because they were able to run the ball some.
Right.
And we felt like passing game wise, we were able to be competitive defensively last year. We didn't give up a ton of passing yards, and teams completed way less than 50% of their passes against us, but they ran the ball way too high of a clip.
So,
and, you look at Roxana, they ran the ball down our throats. Breeze Central ran the ball down our throats. As we already mentioned, Freeburg last year, they just ran it down our throats. I think they threw one pass in the whole game, and it was incomplete. But, it was just, we've got to stop the run better, and we've got to create more turnovers off of other teams' run game. And
who you got in the middle?
Well, we'll have Colson Quinn will be back. He started all year for us last year, and then Jarrett Gibson is going to be a sophomore, 6'1", 190-pound sophomore who we have really high hopes for. Had a really good summer for us, and we're looking for big things from him.
That's the defense. I'll tell you what, let's do. Take a quick break. We'll come back, finish up talking about the Wildcats, and we'll talk about a few other things here with Coach Kevin Greene. You're watching Big Talk with Bruce Dickey. Back after this.
Fashion is our passion at Carnaby Square. We specialize in customer service and have since 1980. Our multi-generational boutique features your favorite on-trend to classic famous maker fashions, footwear, accessories, and a massive inventory of Brighton. So come, relax, explore, and elevate your look with us. Everyone is welcome, where we always wrap it, tag it, and bag it for free at Carnaby Square in downtown Fairfield.
Briscoe Surplus Sales on the northeast edge of Flora is your one-stop do-it-all shop. Looking for rugged boots and footwear from great brands like Lacrosse, Rocky, and Carolina? They're there. How about top-notch small engine parts and service? Briscoe Surplus Sales has it. Whether you're wiring your switches or switching your wiring, Briscoe Surplus Sales has the solution and the know-how to help you get the job done right the first time. Briscoe Surplus Sales, your one-stop do-it-all shop.
Napa Know-How.
At Flora Auto Parts, you can count on the Napa Know-How experts to have the solutions to keep you running on the road or in the field. More than just your car, your locally owned Napa store carries a large inventory of parts for farms, heavy trucks, and just about everything that moves. Experienced counter people understand your needs and are ready to help with the perfect part at a great value. That's Napa Know-How at Flora Auto Parts.
When you want an honest deal and hometown service without the runaround, go to Lamont Chevrolet Chrysler in Fairfield. Let Gabe McGahey, Sheldon Bunning, Jeff Black, Dennis Downs, Matthew Rogers, or Caleb Dunn score the best deal for you on your next new or pre-owned vehicle. Parts and service departments with factory-trained technicians and express lane and state-of-the-art tire and alignment technology. Lamont always inspects your battery, antifreeze, wipers, and tires for free. We want you prepared for the open road ahead. Open 24/7 at LeMansOnline.com. You'll like the way we do business.
Hey, folks, welcome back. Big Talk with Bruce Dickey here on Wabash Catch TV. One of the joys of my life doing football games at Flora, at Fairfield, and at Salem is I get to go to Salem where you will occasionally have a place kicker.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we do. We've been lucky the last couple of years.
Year.
Max Ambuel, we graduate Max Ambuel, who's a soccer guy and plays kicker for us.
He was good.
Did a great job for us. So yeah, we have Caleb Puritan, who's going to be our place kicker this year. Also borrow, we're renting him from the soccer team. But I tell you, Caleb, he's no different than Max though. He's invested in our team too. Caleb did not miss a summer workout for football. Did not miss a summer workout for soccer.
No kidding.
Has been at every one of our camp practices the last couple weeks. Just kicking on the kicking on the side and doing his thing. And he's got a lot of buddies on our team that have loved having him out there, and we're excited to have him.
There's nothing wrong with having a place kicker.
Not at all.
I've talked to Townsend and to Tack, and I said, "Hey man, let's get a kicker."
Right. They're not easy to find. I'll tell you that.
It's the thing.
Yeah.
I mean, if you can find a place kicker who can kick from the 40 to get to the 10-yard line.
Yeah.
Get it to the 10-yard line, and that makes a huge difference. If he's kicking it to the 25, the play's going to start. The team's going to start at the 40.
Right.
If he's kicking it to 10, the team's going to start at the 25-yard line.
Well, if you can tackle them, they will. you got to be able to tackle them first. But yeah, that would be the plan.
Well, I would ask about special teams also on the receiving side, but I'm thinking that Lyric Black and Mike King Etris are
Lyric and Mike King and another returner we were talking about in the break, Trey Clark. Will both all three of those guys are going to man those return positions for us and do a fine job. I have no doubt.
Well, that's you mentioned the defensive backfield and the defensive front, but nobody threw a ton of passes on you. How do you go about one of the best things to a team that goes from 4 to 5 to get to 5 and 4, to get to 6 and 3, to get to 7 and 2? You need turnovers. How are you able to train the kids to get a turnover?
I think it's just consistently talking about it. Our leading interception guy, Cooper Lobeck, is back this year. His dad, Pat, calls our defense for us, and Cooper's just a great student of the game and a great leader and has played really well for us the last couple of years. So we're glad to have him back as an anchor in that defensive backfield. But I think it's a lot like anything else. You make it a priority to talk about it every single day you have practice.
Well,
every single day you're out there. We've got to create turnovers. We've got to get the ball on the ground. We've got to be around the ground, be around the ball and be ball hawks, so to speak. And you just hope it resonates at some point with the kids.
Well, that's one of the things that we talked about earlier in the show. When you look at your wins last year, now the Alton Marquette was a big blowout. Centralia came back in that game, and that was closer than it could have been. And the Columbia game was a wild finish, you had them down. How can you coach a killer instinct into and put a game away?
I think it's the same thing as turnovers. You just preach it and preach it and preach it. Is we're going to start practice the same way that we're going to finish practice, and we're going to start drill segments the same way that we finish them, and vice versa. And I think what you emphasize is what your kids are gonna hear the most, and that's what they're gonna you hope anyway take with them into the games. And I think it's no different than having parents and kids in your house. You're gonna really try to stress certain values to them from the time they're able to listen to you and exercise those values, and you hope that your teams are able to do the same thing. And that's, like I said, from the start of the summer to now, that's been a huge focus for us, is starting workouts and ending workouts the same. And we can do certain drills in practice to work on interceptions and work on forcing fumbles and those kind of things, and that's what we've tried to do, and we'll continue to do so.
Yeah. Well, I tell you, it's always a work in progress.
They always are, yeah.
And that's the fun thing for you. Over the course of the season, you get it. I mean, we talked earlier, you get 9 games a year.
Right.
You get a chance to see a group improve from game 1 to game 5 to game 9.
Sure.
And that must be part of the joy of the job.
It really is. And I think, any coach who's got any, veteran sense to him, and I'm sure you talked about having Coach Townsend and Coach Tackett in here. Those guys have been doing it long enough. We all want to win games. We want our kids to be competitive, but that really is where the joy comes from in, where we're at on day 1 to to where we're at on the last day.
Right.
You know, have we been able to make and help our kids improve, help our team improve from point A to point B? And I think, you know, again, every team starts at a different spot, just like every kid in your house starts at a different spot, and you do your best to get them to where they need to be at the end of it. And
So you kick them out.
Exactly. Yeah, and then you send them out on their own. You send them out on their own and say, good luck, man.
From last year's team, I forgot to mention that or ask, did you have anybody move on to try to play some college ball?
You know, we didn't this year. Had a few that could have. Just from an academic standpoint, some of the colleges and universities that were after them to play didn't offer what they wanted from an academic standpoint, which I'm really proud of those kids for. I mean, some kids will just say they'll want to go somewhere just to say that they played college ball when, you know, academically they maybe aren't doing exactly what they want to do for their future. So, but no, we have Caleb Smith, who's been Caleb's been a 4-year starter for us, state champion track kid. So he's going to throw at Indiana University.
Okay,
so he got a full scholarship to go there, and really happy for him. He's just been an unbelievable kid in our school, and he's got some really exciting things ahead of him.
Did he leave with he did leave with the discus record, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I thought he had like from 2 or 3 years
He
ago.
left with all kinds of records. Yeah, we've got a big picture that we're getting ready to put up in our hallways of him from last year as a state champion, and just a lot of accolades that he's worked very hard for and deserved every one of them.
Well, that's outstanding that he's going to go play Big Ten track and field.
Yeah, absolutely. It's an exciting thing for him and our school.
Well, that's good. Now, okay, you mentioned I mentioned the renovations going on at some of the other schools. Anything going on in Salem this year?
Yeah, we actually have.
Now you're putting your AD hat on.
No, a little bit. Yeah, so we have a pretty healthy contingent of our student body that's involved in our weight training classes every year, and Dr. Dietering and our school board has really made a commitment in the last 6 months to renovate our weight room, and so that project is ongoing. It's about ready to be finished up, so it'll be ready to go for the school year, and excited to get our kids.
Lifted.
So we moved all of our equipment that we have currently into what we call our small gym, which has actually it hasn't been a horrible situation, but so we've got the weight room renovated, and it'll be ready for the start of school here in just a few weeks.
It is there on the what would that be, south side?
Yes, correct.
South side bleachers. So, well, that's outstanding that you've made that renovation. That's going to help all the sports.
All of our sports. We have tons of kids. Almost all of our student athletes are in the class. We even have some kids who don't participate in sports sign up for it, and
I got to ask.
That's great.
As you know, as the AD, you could have brought the state championship trophy for the bowling team if you'd have wanted.
Right, I should have. Yeah. Our bowling team is a machine right now.
Does the bowling team go down there and lift weights too?
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Do they really?
Absolutely. They're all involved in our strength and conditioning program.
No kidding.
It's great. Yeah, it's great.
Well, I guess it helps agility. And
absolutely.
You certainly need agility.
Flexibility and stability and those types of things. Coach Ludwig is he's very supportive of our program, and those kids do a great job just like everybody else.
God bless them.
Absolutely.
You're bringing state championship trophies
for
back.
Sure.
That's all. You can't ask for anything more. That's for sure. What do you think of the Bears this year? What's your
cautiously optimistic?
Are you now?
I think we've got some good pieces.
Finally got it figured out.
We're going to find out. I'm not sure he's got any more excuses.
Well, that's right.
We new offensive coordinator. We've got apparently we've got the quarterback situation figured out. We'll find out. We've added some pieces offensively. We've retained some pieces defensively. So
you got that's the thing. Eberflus a defensive coach, right?
He is, yeah.
And so basically you need, and you start up front, and I think the biggest thing, other than the Bears did two great things last year. They made the trade and got the Carolina number one pick.
No,
that was
sure.
the best thing
for
they
sure.
did.
Yeah.
But the trade for Sweat was, I think, a little under the radar. Folks didn't realize how important he is.
No, I don't think so, because they weren't any good when they made the trade for him.
Yeah.
And I don't think they were getting very many national headlines as they shouldn't have. And but I think that's a huge
it's a losing defense.
Exactly. I think that's a huge piece of that puzzle, and they've also retained some pieces on the back end. And I think defensively they're going to be very stout, and offensively I think they've got no reason to not be competitive this year.
Difficult to ask with a rookie quarterback, but do you think they can make the playoffs? That's a tough division.
It is.
Minnesota just had a guy get hurt on last Thursday. They had a defensive back blow his knee out.
I think when you look at the Bears, when they were good in 2018, it's a different division than it is now than it was
entirely.
then. And you have the Lions are much more competitive, and the Vikings, I think, are going to be competitive enough, and you still have the Packers looming over the top of you, which that's been a thorn on the Bears' side for a long time. A long time.
Yeah.
So, their schedule's no joke, and they're going to have to play well. But again, you have a young quarterback with a lot of veteran pieces around him. Yeah. They're going to have to help him.
Well, is Fields going to start at Pittsburgh?
I hope he does. I really do. I like Justin Fields. I think he will eventually. Yeah. I think he will eventually. I like Justin Fields. I think he does a lot of good things. It just wasn't the right fit in Chicago.
I didn't ask. We've got like 20 seconds. How about Bielema and the Illini?
They're going to have to run the ball, I think. And I think they've got some pieces to do that. But some homegrown Illinois kids there that are going to have a chance to do something. So, always an Illinois fan. Hopefully, they can be more consistent this year than they were last year.
There you go. Hey, folks, thanks very much for watching. That's Kevin Greene. Salem Wildcats get the games to start. August 30th. Get to the game and have some fun.
Yep.
Good luck to you. We'll see y'all next time.
Thanks, Bruce.